welcome to the first episode of Tiger Talks. We are so excited to start kicking this podcast off. I'm Courtney Poole.
I'm Nicole Pizzo.
I'm Taj Ham.
And I'm Marcus Dixon.
Yay, so we are your hosts of Tiger Talks. We're so excited to spend some time with y'all and just talk about some really cool things. So I kind of want to kick it off today in class. Over the past kind of week, we've been covering theories as one of the topics that we've talked about. And today we talked about communication privacy management theory. And I thought that went really well hand in hand, especially with this group of people. We have I guess I'm kind of a athlete, but we have 3 athletes on the call. So I want to talk about what social media looks like with NCAA privacy restrictions and how y'all have experienced that, and if you've had any crazy experiences with it or gotten in trouble ever, if you're allowed to talk about it. But yeah, so maybe you want to kick this off?
I'll start off with just playing football here. A lot of things should be restricted, and social media, being one of those things. We aren't, a collective of, group of guys who put a lot of things out there so that whether there's a fan page or any other media can kind of get some sort of advantage and one up on, we're not really known for doing that. And I think the reason why is because we set those standards in the beginning of our season with social media rules. I didn't even know a college football team would have social media posting rules and so forth. Mm-hmm. But I kind of like it. It keeps everyone to a standard, keeps us all everybody is responsible and held to a high standard. And with that, I mean, I like it. It's more than just privacy. It's about just other people's business that you don't want lingering out there, ending up into the wrong hands. So with that being said, I fully like it and respect it. And with NCAA, I feel like once again we don't have issues here. But, you see it all in the media with, guys crossing, certain boundaries, crossing the line and things that, they obviously would know about, but yet do it. And I think the reason why is because, those, expectations and they're not being held accountable within their own little camp. And I think that's what Clemson football does a great job of, really, really holding people accountable and creates, nice young gentlemen who know how to, handle their business.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think Clemson does such a good job of holding that class act, reputation, especially on social media. I'm interested, Marcus, do they train y'all for, interviews and stuff? Or, are they just hey, by the way, don't do this, do that? What does that look like?
So I would say it's between both. Kind of have a good sense of what to say and what not to say, and what to put out there and what to not put out there. Also, there is, some sort of training on, kind of should I be talking about an injury? Should I be talking about this in the media? Should I be posting this or reposting this? Because everything you do is watched, whether you believe it or not.
100%.
And it's through any age of audience, and you just always got to remind yourself that if it can't go through God, Google, or your grandma, you shouldn't post it. So.
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it, too. I love that. That's great.
That is, yeah. I feel like they do such a good job, in general with, compliance and NIL stuff. I used to do track and cross country here, and always at our team meetings at the beginning of the year, they had someone come in talking all about NIL and all the certain rules.
No way.
Things you couldn't post, things you could, all the regulations, which I think was super important because, sometimes athletes could get in a lot of trouble if they even make one little mistake in their NIL post. So, there's definitely a lot of restrictions, but it's good because they really do train you well and talk about all of that before. So
I feel like honestly it's you can look at it more of protection than restrictions in a lot of ways. Protection, one of the university, but also y'all's reputation and how you're putting yourself out there and how you're representing Clemson because you wear that paw on your chest every day. So I think that's honestly great. Are there I heard this myth once that one of the regulations is you can only post on certain days of the week. Is that real? Or do we need to debunk that? Because
I've heard that too.
Yeah. Marcus?
Yeah, Marcus.
Is it real?
That's real.
Really?
That's real.
What
So
what does that entail?
Yeah, say we have, a game week, and we implemented the rule. I mean, usually it would be from about, I would say, Monday through Friday, no posts, and then anything post game, you're good. And then the same ritual the following week. I
Wow.
like it though. I mean, like it keeps
Yeah.
everyone
Hmm.
on their toes, and like you guys were
Yeah.
saying, like we're growing into a stage of our lives um, where
Right.
this generation needs to have people who are marketable and presentable at the same time.
Right.
Like, I know we talk about NIL, but like a lot of that isn't happening if your background check doesn't come through clean, or if you're just not,
Yeah.
a good citizen. So
For
at the
sure.
end of the day, you just need to make yourself marketable.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so
Well,
many eyes. Oh, sorry, what were you saying, Touch?
that's the first I'm hearing about that though. But
Really?
yeah, it's a first. But I totally agree with Marcus. I think that the image you bring
Yeah.
is a big factor of your life.
Yeah.
And I think that,
100%.
as Nicole said about the track and field, I like they have a great page. Like good stuff have been putting out, nothing too out of the order, stuff like that. So yeah, I really agree with Marcus. I really think that
Yeah.
the image and the standard we set for it for everyone, both for yourself and on the team, yeah, should be way up. After all,
Yeah. It's a high standard. Best
after
Yeah,
best
it's
is the
great.
standard, right? Come on now. Yeah.
And it
Josh,
raises
do you
like,
have any? Sorry, Nicole, you go.
oh no,
all.
you're good. I'm just saying it creates like such good examples too for all like the younger kids, like everyone wanting to be,
Yeah.
looking up to the athletes, looking up to
Mhm.
everyone like, at Clemson. I feel like it sets such a
Yeah.
good standard for
Yeah.
people in the workforce and
For
everything.
sure. It makes me like proud to go here. Like
Yeah.
I'm proud of representing the school. I'm like, yeah, we're a class act school. Like go on our social media, like we look good. Like
Yeah,
even though I'm not
exactly.
on any of those teams, like I get to represent rallies, which is incredible.
Yeah, it's
Um,
incredible.
and like getting to look at y'all's pages too. It's like it's so sick. I could like scroll for hours, but I
Yeah,
gotta set time limit for that. So
Hmm.
yeah, there's time and time again always examples of you know classy men on the road, keeping it, just nice and casual as we always do. You know, how you do anything is how you do everything. We live by that
Hmm.
motto. It's engraved by Coach Sweeney, so we always keep that in mind whether we're on the road, in a football jersey or not.
mhm.
Even if we run to a gas station, like
Yeah,
a compliment really goes a long way,
one
and it
hundred
really
percent.
does. It means a lot hearing that from people, knowing how we act and how we
Mhm.
represent each other.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I know that I know Marcus has had experience with this, but Nicole and Taj, I'm interested. Like at track meets, do y'all get to interact with fans on any level, or is it like you're locked in, like you do your event and you do it well?
Well, we're locked in, but someone comes up and say like, "I really like what you're doing. Keep doing it, and keep on influencing yourself to do better and better every day."
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
it's not nothing to just take a little time and say thank you. I really appreciate it, and yeah,
yeah. And
and
that's those parasocial relationships, y'all. Like
Yeah.
that gives Clemson such a good look too. On top of like your name and your reputation, like people are gonna want to come back and come to the school and keep watching you succeed at track meets and stuff like that. Like that's so cool.
yeah, like
Exactly.
I love that.
when I was doing track in high school, and I made my first national team. Like we went to Nairobi, Kenya, like for the World Under 20 Champion.
Whoa.
And like
Wow.
after running and we are in the stands and stuff, people was coming and like Jamaica, like I love this country.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
Taj.
Other people
Yes,
once
Taj.
Hey.
they don't they don't really know me like that, but
Yeah.
the standard that Jamaica put out in track, like everyone loves track
Yeah, dude.
Jamaicans, and everyone wanted to take a picture. I don't know really
That's
if they
awesome.
know me or not, but
Yeah.
that's the image like athletes need to be putting on.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, he's Jamaican. He better be. He's good.
Yeah, and
He'll be fun to watch.
I had a medal, and some people know like they were saying good run on the 4x4, and I was like, thank you. I really
Thank
Aw,
you.
stuff like
that's
that.
so cool. That's so great. I love that they took the
Awesome.
time out of their day too to like come compliment you and talk to you and like let you know, hey, you're being noticed and you're being watched, and like that's a good thing, you know?
Yeah. And
That's so
Courtney, I
cool.
saw you recently had the clinic with like all of the like the Rally
Yeah.
Cat clinic. So how was that interacting with like, younger girls hoping to be
It's so
Rally
much
Cat
fun.
someday?
We get to do clinics with like all ages. So we have like baby clinics with like little kids, and then prep clinics for like middle school age, and then recruiting clinics is more like sophomores to seniors in high school. I love them so much because there's girls that come to like every single clinic we have. So you get to talk to them every time and like watch them grow as dancers, and build relationships with them. And it's just so fun because you don't get to see them outside of that unless they like come to games or something. But clinics are just like one big reunion. You're like, oh my gosh, like how's school going? Like how was the trip? Because we have girls traveling from like, there was a girl at this last clinic. There were two girls from Montana,
Oh my
and I was
God.
like, OMG, like y'all took a flight to get here.
Yeah.
But like that's so cool, and that's just a testament to like Rally's reputation, and like these girls are traveling across the country just to come dance with us and see what we're about. Like that's so cool.
That's
And it makes
awesome.
us feel so special too that like these girls want to come dance with us because we were in their shoes. Like I mean, I was in their shoes not even like what 3 years ago ish, kind of 3 years ago, like to the day almost. I came to my first Rally Cat clinic, so like I know how they're feeling, and like um, getting to like be for them what I got as a senior in high school when I came to the clinic is like really really cool, and such a special position to be in.
Oh, that's so
But
special.
it's
I
so
love that.
fun. Yeah, it's so great. I love it.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah. Okay, I kind of want to transition into like the future of social media and what y'all think that's gonna look like. I know we've talked about this in class before, but do y'all think that like something is gonna be presented to society that could possibly replace social media the way that social media is kind of replacing TV? I don't know what that
That's
would
a
look like.
that's a good point, and I'm
Mhm.
like I'm like with you on that because of how much like social media really has become such the influence. Like, I mean, even
Yes,
me, I'm not sitting down watching regular television. I'll tell you that.
right.
But
It's
Yeah.
all
like
on like apps.
YouTube, TikTok,
Yep.
Instagram, I'm all
Hmm.
for it. Like I'm locked in and engaged on it. So
Yeah.
with me being part of our generation and coming up, like we're used to television. Now I've transitioned into the fact that I'm all social media all day. Like
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
me
actually
too.
literally,
so crazy
literally.
to think
It's
about.
everything.
Yeah, so I can agree with that and see why you say that and see why that's a take. I wouldn't be shocked if it happens. I still feel like the entertainment level will still be high no matter what it would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a great take, and I agree with that. I can see that fully going on to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree as well. I feel like when I was young, like I just, always watching like TV and stuff like that. Now, like I don't even know, like the last time I really watched a show, I guess, was like in the summer. I feel like now
Right.
I'm just looking at
Yeah.
like Reels and TikTok and stuff. So it's kind of crazy to see how social media really has taken over. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either if there's something that kind of almost not
Yeah.
replaces, but it's like a new way for
Something.
entertainment and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I mean, social media can, yeah, it can build you, but it can break you also, but
I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
For
but
sure.
I think that social media right now, it it teaches a lot on different aspects. Like
Yeah.
for instance, saying like people are talking about Rihanna and Chris Brown after he sang the song what's the song, the Chris Brown song, or I think it's Digital or something like that. What's it?
I
I
only
don't
listen to
know.
country music.
Yeah, no, that's okay. It's like
Sorry, Taj.
after he placed it out the music video a day ago, or I think two, like everyone was
Yeah.
saying like,
So recent.
yeah, it's already saying like everyone was saying like, I know that this song was for Rihanna and the things that he did in the past and stuff like that. But
Ooh.
I think that,
Violation of that privacy management.
Yeah.
but, but I think that social media can it can teach you a lot about life and life lessons and stuff like that. So I think it's
Yeah.
still gonna be a big factor for everyone no, like the nowadays generation, like we are always on our phones, like
Yeah,
in class everywhere. So I think that social media is gonna be a big factor for us in the future.
yeah,
Like
I
as
agree. I don't.
the entertainment will always be there, like
Yeah,
from sports,
right.
the news, but yeah, social media is still gonna be a big factor of life.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever going away.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think it's always going to be here. But I would not be surprised if like someone creates something new that everyone just like gets attached to so fast. But
Yeah.
yeah. All right,
It's
y'all.
crazy to think about.
Yay!
Yay.
That was so fun. First episode, first segment at least wrapped up.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
great. We are so excited. Stay tuned because we're gonna have Abby Szlosek on for the next segment, and we're gonna get to talk to her about what she's doing with Clemson Creative Solutions as a student intern and what that looks like. So we're so excited, and we'll see y'all in a few seconds.
let's go.
Soon.
Peace.
So today we are so excited to have Abby Szlosek as our guest speaker, who is a student intern for Creative Solutions for Clemson Athletics. So tell us a little bit about your job and yourself.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me on. Super excited. I am a senior sports communications student from Charleston, South Carolina, and I am almost done with my time here at Clemson, but I have had the incredible opportunity to work for Clemson Athletics and the athletic department as a creative intern through their Creative Solutions program in the communication and like marketing department. I've gotten to work with a variety of teams across pretty much any sport you can think of on campus, which has been really cool. Just working, creating video and photo content for teams, traveling across the country and the world. Yeah, it's been super exciting.
That's awesome. So what sparked your love for media, specifically like sports media?
Say that one more time.
What sparked your love for media?
What sports do I love?
Sorry, what sparked your love for sports media?
Spark. Okay, gotcha. Sorry. I used to work at a tennis tournament actually, and I was one of those like ball kids. Have you ever seen like on professional
Yeah.
tennis that
Oh,
like
yeah.
throw the ball to players? So I was one of those people, and my friend Pete, I was watching him take pictures one day at this tennis tournament when I was like 15, and I was like, oh, that's sick. Like I would love to take pictures of like sports or something. So I asked my mom. I was like, can I get a camera on Facebook? Like I'll pay for it. It was like $200. It was some like crappy little camera. And I started following him on Instagram, and he was making all this cool photo and video stuff for his high school. And I was like, that's so cool. Like I want to do that. So I got a camera like February 2020, and then I like shot a couple pictures for like 2 days, and then COVID hit, and it was like, oh my gosh, like that's ridiculous. So didn't really use it for those like 6 or 7 months, and then I brought it to a couple football games at my high school, and I started taking pictures, and it just kind of like took off really slowly from there. I got to Clemson, and then I was reaching out. My friend Pete that kind of introduced me to it, he actually interned here as well, and he's 2 years older than me. And I reached out to him. I was like, hey, I'd love to keep doing this athletic stuff. I think it's a lot of fun. At that time, I was really only doing photography. And then January 2022, I started as a creative intern for the athletic department, and kind of haven't really looked back, and just doing video for, like I said, every single team on campus, and only up from here.
That's so cool.
That's awesome. I love that.
Oh,
Yes.
Abby, I'm interested. What does like a day in the life for you look like? I'm sure
Yeah.
it differs like just a normal day and like a game day, but like
Mm-hmm.
what does that look like?
Oh gosh, I mean during the week, I usually try and go in our office at least like once a day, just like pop in, say hey. Depends on how much schoolwork or homework I have, but senior year, second semester, it's been pretty chill. Let's just say that. I try and like I'm definitely a morning person, so definitely making the most of my days. Like trying to go to bed around 11 and then get up by like 8 o'clock the next day. Like go to the gym in the morning, trying to go to the office for today, for example, I got up and worked out, and then I went to the office for like 2 or 3 hours, and I had class in the afternoon, and just like a constant circle of that and working on whatever projects are needed during this time. So like right now, for example, a little different than what I was doing during football season, but right now I'm kind of focused on lacrosse, so that's working on creating their hype video, their intro video, all sorts of stuff like that. So
that's so cool.
That's awesome.
So
Had you?
I have a question.
Mhm.
So what's your favorite aspect of the job?
Gosh, I think definitely working with like so many different people and just like making so many different friends. Like it's been cool to like work with a bunch of different athletes across Clemson campus, but also working with all the full-time staff that are a lot older than me. Not even that older than me, but they're like, I don't know. Everybody's in their like late 20s, early 30s, so it's like not like your traditional job where you're working for like some 40-year-old that's your boss. It's like people that are kind of my age and like they're still up to date with what's happening on social media because we work in social media and we're creating content for people. But yeah, I really think it's like the people that makes the job the most fun, and when athletes are really entertaining and you have a great coaching staff and a great team and a great support system behind you, that's just really what makes the job so special.
That's so cool.
Hey, Abby, I just wanted to ask, as a student athlete myself, what is the most difficult part, and what is like a time when adversity hit and you know you were really going through it and you found yourself to persevere and get through it?
Yeah, I think definitely the most difficult part is just trying to like convey what you're wanting to create for the team. So a lot of times when I'm like, for example, like last football season, like there'd be a lot of like crazy cool ideas I had in my head, and I would like go to my boss and I'd be like, hey, I want to do this, but I don't know how to like exactly execute it. And just getting people to trust your vision kind of is really important. And then a time of adversity, oh gosh, I actually got to go to Spain with the women's soccer program this past summer, which was really cool. So capturing all their content. But the thing that was most difficult about that is that I wasn't like posting anything, so I was like sending it to people that were like 7 hours behind, and they were like, oh, we want this and this and this, and then I would like go to sleep and I would like wake up and see what they wanted, and I'm like, I don't know, it was a little
You're
difficult.
like, wait.
That was a little difficult at the beginning of that trip, but I was able to make the most of it, and I had a really fun time with the team and going to freaking Spain, which was like, I never would have thought that's what I would have been able to do. So
that's so cool.
It was lit.
That's awesome.
That's so cool. So you mentioned, do you get to post as well as like capture the footage, or is there someone that like takes your footage and posts for you?
Yeah, a lot of times when we're working, there is like a person called a SID, which is Sport Information Director, or just like a social media lead for the team that we're working really closely with and that we're in constant like text communication with all day.
Yeah.
Specifically for football, it was really nice that like my boss kind of led the social media efforts for the football team. So like we were with him all day, we were with him all game day, and then it would just be like, I'm sitting right next to him and he's like, hey, Abby, I'm going to put your video up, and then I'm going to post blah, blah, blah's pictures. So it was like really just a quick chain of command. For the other sports, it's like also very tight knit. It's usually me and one other person, and we're in constant communication during the game, after the game, before the game. Exactly what kind of content we want to see, what pictures, what videos, all that sort of stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So my follow-up question is, so what's your favorite capture? Which sport is your favorite to capture? And what?
Good question.
Yeah.
Gosh. I mean, there really is nothing like a game day in Death Valley. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Come on.
Obviously, I know. Obviously, like, there's only so many people that get to like run down the hill, like, to enter the stadium. To say that like I've done that is like, like, there's literally no feeling. Like, you literally cannot put into words like what that is like.
That's so cool.
So just like being able to like capture those special moments and like knowing that there's a full stadium of people behind you like backing what you do, and then also like seeing your work on, like, I had the opportunity to create some video boards videos, so like seeing that in Memorial Stadium and like seeing that on the big screen was just like, it would just be like crazy, because I would like tell my friends, I'll be like, I made that, like I did that, and then they would be there watching it.
Oh, I love that, dude. That's so cool. That's so great.
What is your reasoning, like, what is your why, your biggest motivation towards, like, your hard work and dedication to what you do?
Yeah, for sure. I would say this is definitely, like, a time-consuming job, so being somebody that's, like, putting in work and, like, being a constant communicator and just, like, not letting people down is always, like, a really important, like, even just, like, a character thing, like, not even across, like, working in sports, but, like, with friends and, like, school and being a good teammate and all that sort of stuff. But also just like being able to like capture and convey someone else's emotion, and then like usually we'll like send like a picture or a video off to somebody, and that just like makes them really excited and just like kind of like serving others and creating for them has just been like super special.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I love that aspect of it. I feel like that's such a big like draw,
Mm-hmm.
especially for photographers, like just getting to capture those special moments and like show everyone. Do you like being in front of the camera too, or are you like a behind the camera girl?
I don't know. I'm definitely not in front of the camera. We got to do a like behind the scenes of a football game day like vlog, and I like was walking around like vlogging, and I
remember seeing that.
Dude, like
it was
I
so
had
good.
to edit it afterwards, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I freaking hate how I sound. Like I just was like there's a reason. There's a reason why I'm behind the camera, but
That's
love
so
a good
funny.
like action picture of me shooting every so often.
Oh
but
yeah, that's sick.
I don't know.
That's so cool.
What is some advice you have for students wanting to start to work with like sports media and like creating content like you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just becoming such a popular kind of thing to do, and I would say that like people are just on instantly like they'll buy a super nice camera and they're like, yo, I'm about to go shoot, like I want to shoot an NBA game, NFL game, like get me connected in that. But it's like you kind of need to dedicate time to like refining your craft and just like showing that you're a good shooter. So like going out to a high school baseball game or going out to, I don't know, just like a club college rugby game, it's just like you got to show that you're able to like work and put in the work of like, hey, I can make any kind of team look good, because everybody wants to go shoot in Death Valley and do photography at a football game. Like I've gotten friends that are like, yo, how do I get a press pass? And I'm like, well, you can't just like get a press pass. You got to show that we're able to like put the work in.
It's the whole path. Yeah, that's so cool.
That's like a huge part of the trust aspect too. Like you mentioned earlier, like you have to have your boss needs to trust you and be like, if you go to him and say, hey, I have this vision, he needs to know that you'll execute it and do it well, right? I feel like that's so important. Do you
100%.
like shooting? I know I've seen you shoot like short form videos and long form. Do you have like one of the others your favorite, or do you like, I will do anything, I just want to be behind the camera?
Yeah, I'm a pretty flexible person. Like I'm willing to do whatever the team needs, but there is something special about like producing a like longer form piece that's gonna live over time. Like I've gotten to make videos that are anywhere from like 15 seconds long to like 15 minutes. So like honestly, sometimes like putting out a 10-second clip of just like a moment is really what like captures the attention of people. But if you're able to like sit down and tell someone's story and kind of edit that, that's also really special to like be a part of that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's so powerful. I love that.
What's your end game? Like, what is your biggest goal that you see for yourself, and like a standard and expectation that you set for yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just always want to like keep that like fiery passion for like why I started doing it in the first place. Just like working to create for others and just like never try to be someone that's like a clout chaser. There's a lot of people on the internet that will just post stuff being like, yo, I'm the best photographer there is out there, like follow me, I'm her, I'm him, and it's just like
calm down now.
Once you like learn that's not what it's about, it's like that just like changes your whole outlook on it. So just like serving others. I'd love to go work for like a professional sports team or like an agency that captures content for different brands, or work for a brand like Nike, or like that would be sick. But I'm not too worried about the end goal right now. I just trust that I'm gonna get to be where I want to be.
That's good advice.
Yeah, that's really good advice. I love that. Josh, do you have a question?
Oh yeah. I thought I heard the mic went out. So my last question is: so what helps your account to grow and reach the audience and gain more followers?
Yeah. I think just like being consistent with like what your brand is, and like it's kind of hard to post on social media sometimes because you're always like, oh, do I look good in this photo? Like, do my pictures look good? And just like once you like sit down and realize it's like, post whatever you want. Like nobody really, at the end of the day, nobody's gonna remember what my Instagram post was in like a year.
Real.
Just like not just like stop overthinking it and just do what you want to do. Like it really, like everything in life is just, that's been my like outlook over the past 2 years. Just like take a step back. Like not everything in life is just like, nobody is looking at every minuscule detail of what you see, and something that you like, people are gonna like 10 times better. So just trust your gut and just go with the flow on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really good. I feel like that's so powerful too, because social media is like ever changing, like every
Yeah.
single day, and it's like nothing that you post now a year from now is like gonna be in or like gonna be what the trend is, which I
Right.
think is just honestly such a draw, but also it's like don't worry about it, just post whatever you want, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So cool. Yay. Well, Abby, thank you so much for joining us. We're so thankful that you took time out of your day to come be
Sure.
on the first episode of Tiger Talks.
Is this the
It's
name of
so
the
great.
podcast? I love
Oh
it.
yeah, Tiger
Yeah.
Talks. Come
Yeah.
on. Stay tuned for the graphic.
Hey, like, follow,
Uh-oh.
subscribe.
Like, follow, subscribe, get that
Yep.
engagement up,
Get
y'all.
the
Come on.
engagement.
Yay. All right,
Perfect.
y'all. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to our first episode, and we'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, thank you so much.